Hi, I'm Mark Barsamian with the Math Department at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. I'm the coordinator for Math 1350, Survey of Calculus. This is a multi-section course. There are 27 sections being offered this fall semester on the various campuses of Ohio University. 25 of those are being offered by the main campus in Athens. This video is an introduction to the course for students in those 25 Athens Campus sections of Math 1350. Now, I'm the course coordinator. That means that I designed the content of the course. I produced a bunch of instructional videos that convey the content of the math that you'll need to succeed in the course. We'll discuss those later. I designed the homework assignments, and I've designed the outlines for the class meetings. Now, I'm also the instructor for 3 of the 25 Athens Campus sections, but 22 of the Athens Campus sections have some other instructors, so most of you students won't be seeing me on a weekly basis. But I'll be interacting with your instructors on a weekly basis to support them in their teaching of the course. And occasionally, for students who are not in my section, issues will come up that will need my help, your instructor's help, and my help to resolve some issue. But in general, most of you will be interacting with your own instructor for your own section. But again, if you're in one of the 3 sections that I teach, I'll be seeing you every week. All right, so this video, as I said, is an introduction to the course for the fall semester 2021. Now, the course has kind of a home base, a web page that's a publicly accessible web page. You don't have to go through Blackboard to get to the web page, but initially, at least, maybe the easiest way to find the Blackboard, the web page for the course is to go to Blackboard, because most of you know how to find Blackboard. So let's start by going to the Blackboard page for the course, and we'll discuss the Blackboard page a little bit, and then we'll go to the main course web page, where we'll discuss most of the organizational aspects of the course. So we'll start by going to the Blackboard page for the course. So here we are at my Blackboard page. Yours may look different. If we go to the list of courses, here are all the courses that I'm involved with. Your list of courses will look different. You can see that I'm involved with all of these Math 1350 sections. Let's just go look at one of these. They're all going to look the same. So here's the Blackboard page for Math 1350 section 136. Now let me turn on what's called Student Preview, so this will look the way that it'll look when a student comes here. Now you can see that on this Blackboard page, there's not a lot of stuff. Some of you will have Blackboard pages for other courses where there's a lot more stuff on Blackboard. In our course, you'll come to Blackboard only to do a few things. First of all, find a link to the main Math 1350 webpage. Now remember what I mentioned before. There's a web page for the course. It's public. You don't have to go to Blackboard to get to it, but you can. You can come to Blackboard. You can click on this link, and it will take you to the web page. You'll also come to Blackboard to find your current grades. If you look in the menus on the left side of the page, one of the menu items is My Grades. Now, the grades in Blackboard will be updated only every few weeks during the semester. Another important thing that you'll come to Blackboard for is to get access to the Mylab math system, including getting access to the e-text for the course. Both of those things are done by following this link here, the digital course materials link on the left side of the page. We'll come back and talk about that again later in this video. What I want to do now is quickly follow this link to the main Math 1350 webpage. Click on that and you land on this web page. As I said earlier, this is a publicly accessible web page. You don't have to go through Blackboard to get here. You can bookmark this web page in your browser and come to this web page directly in the future. Now, as I said, this video and this web page are for information about the Athens Campus sections of Math 1350 for the 2021 fall semester. Here's a list of all those sections with their instructors and the meeting times and locations for those sections. And for the online sections, just the meeting times, because those sections will be meeting online, not in person. Let me, before going on, mention this important item. If you have physical, psychiatric, or learning disabilities that require accommodations, please let me or your instructor know as soon as possible so that your needs may be met appropriately. All right, now let's look at some of the content on this web page. The most important part of this web page is this middle section, how the course works. We'll discuss that in this video mostly. So first of all, the course format. This class is delivered in what's called a hybrid format. That means that it's delivered in more than one way. It consists of, the format consists, for our course, consists of two components. Course component number one is a collection of instructional videos developed for this course by me. I'm the course coordinator. Those videos present all the mathematical content in full detail. The videos are designed to present the concepts that you need to do homework assignments that are worked online and graded. And you do them in the online Mylab system that I mentioned earlier. Each video has accompanying printed notes that can be viewed online or downloaded. Now, this collection of videos can be accessed in a variety of ways, in fact, 4 different ways. You can find the videos on a YouTube playlist. If you click this link, it'll just take you right to YouTube. They're publicly accessible. There are links to the videos in the course schedule, which we'll be looking at a little bit later in this video. There are links to the instructional videos in the list of homework assignments. As I mentioned earlier, the videos were designed to present the concepts that you need to do the homework assignments. And so when you go to do the homework assignments, or if you look at the list of homework assignments, you'll see that most of them have an accompanying video. The fourth way that you can access the videos is to actually go to the homework assignments in the Mylab system, and you'll find links to the assignments. You'll find links to the videos in those individual homework assignments. So 4 different ways of accessing those videos. Now, as an alternative or a supplement to learning the material by watching videos, you can learn the material for the course by reading the textbook. Reading the textbook is kind of the old-fashioned way, but it's the way that I prefer to learn math. I'm too impatient to watch a video. There is an e-text version of the textbook in the Mylab system. There's also provision in the Mylab system for buying a discounted print copy, a loose leaf print copy of the textbook. So in the Mylab system, you'll see information about that. So that's course component number 1, the instructional videos. The second component of the course is Wednesday, Friday meetings led by an instructor. Now, those meetings will be held either in person or online, depending on which section of the course a student is in. Students that are in one of the hybrid in-person sections will have Wednesday, Friday meetings that meet on campus in Athens, Ohio. The time and location of the meetings is the time and location mentioned in the Ohio University course offerings webpage. Also, those times and locations are mentioned above on this webpage. I have a list of all the sections of the course I showed you earlier. Students who are in one of the hybrid online sections of the course, one of these 5 sections, will have their Wednesday, Friday meetings online using a tool called Microsoft Teams. The time of the meeting is the time listed in the course listings on the Ohio University course offerings webpage, and again, also listed farther up on this webpage. Now, the important thing is that attendance at those Wednesday, Friday meetings is required. Students who are in the hybrid in-person sections are required to be in the classroom. Students who are in the hybrid online sections of the course are required to be in the online Microsoft Teams meeting with their webcams on during the full duration of the meeting. Now, the Wednesday, Friday meetings are discussions. The purpose of these meetings is not delivery of mathematical content. Remember that the mathematical content is delivered through watching videos and or reading the textbook. That's course component number 1 that I mentioned earlier. Instructional videos and or reading the textbook. That's the delivery of the mathematical content. Course component number 2, the Wednesday, Friday meetings, those are discussions. And those meetings are a chance for the instructor to highlight certain topics, or perhaps present a few additional examples, or perhaps pose questions that students will answer. Also, and most importantly, the Wednesday, Friday class meetings will include contributions by the students in the form of student presentations of one of these three types. Either the student will present a basic example, or the student will explain part of an example that the instructor is presenting, or maybe the student will answer a question that the instructor poses. Now, those student presentation assignments will be posted on the course schedule at least a week before the student presentation is to be made in class. Now, those student presentations might sound intimidating to you, the student. We'll look at a couple of student presentations in a few minutes when we look at the schedule. As I mentioned, the assignments are posted on the course schedule. You'll find very quickly that these student presentations are not a big deal. They're not meant to be an intimidating thing. They're not high stakes, but they're just a way to facilitate getting all the students involved in the classroom discussions. Now, that's course component 2, the Wednesday, Friday class meetings. So again, course component 1 is the instructional videos. Course component 2 is the Wednesday, Friday class meetings. Now, before going on, let me say just a little bit more about the Wednesday, Friday class meetings. On some of the Wednesdays or Fridays, there are quizzes. Now, on those quiz days, there will be some discussion, as I described above, and then at the last 20 minutes of the meeting, there will be a quiz during the meeting. So students who are in the hybrid in-person sections will take their quiz on paper in the classroom. Students in the hybrid online sections will take their quiz in the Mylab system while remaining in the meeting with their webcams on. And then some of the Wednesday, Fridays are exam days. And on those days, the entire 55 minutes of the class meeting will be used for the exam. And as with quizzes, students who are in the hybrid in-person sections will take their exams on paper in the classroom during the regular meeting. Students who are in the hybrid online sections, those 5 sections of the course, will take their exams in the Mylab math system, in the online system. They'll take their exams during the meeting in Microsoft Teams, and they'll need to remain in the meeting with their webcams on. And before going on, let me mention that all the Athens Campus sections of Math 1350 will have their final exam on Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. There's a typo here. I think this should say 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. It's a 2-hour exam. So students in the hybrid in-person sections will have their exams in a classroom on paper, taking the exam on paper. Students in the hybrid online sections will take their exams during an online Teams meeting with their webcams on, but they'll be taking the exam in the Mylab math system. So that's the format of the course, the 2 components, the instructional videos and the Wednesday, Friday meetings. Now, one last thing to say about the Wednesday, Friday meetings. You've already seen this, I'm sure, in some email from some office at OU. The Ohio University COVID-19 policies. The most important thing that will affect our class meetings is this one. All individuals are required to wear masks in indoor public spaces on campus, including classrooms. So when you come to your hybrid in-person class meetings, you'll need to be masked up. So we're discussing how the course works. We've discussed the course format. Let me discuss the course grading. In this course, you'll accumulate a points total of up to 1,000 possible points. You'll accumulate points in 6 different ways. Attendance is one way. There are 25 meetings that are worth 1 point each. To get your point, you'll have to be in the meeting. If you're in an online section, you'll have to be in the meeting with your camera on. Another way you'll accumulate points is through your student presentations, your class presentations. Each student will do 5 presentations. I think this should say 8 points each for a total of 40 points possible. So during the course of the semester, each student will do 5 presentations. You'll accumulate points by doing homework. There are 90 homework assignments, 1 point each. That's 90 points possible. You'll take quizzes. I'll keep 7 of your best 9 quiz scores. So 30 points each. That gives you a total of 210 points possible from quizzes. You'll take exams. I'll keep 3 of your 4 exam scores. I'll keep your best 3 scores. The exams are 150 points each, so that's 450 points possible. And then you'll take the final exam, and it's got 200 points possible. So that's a total of up to 1,000 possible points that you'll have at the end of the semester. At the end of the semester, your points total will be converted to a letter grade using this percentage scale, this 85, 70, 55, 40% scale. The key thing is there is no curve. Your points total is converted to a score. Now, throughout the course, at various intervals, I'll be updating the Blackboard gradebook. So you'll be able to get a rough estimate of your current percentage score and your current letter grade on Blackboard in the gradebook there. So that's the grading. Attendance, I mentioned earlier that you'll accumulate points by attending meetings. Attendance is required. You will have 25 meetings beginning on Friday, August 27th. They'll be worth 1 point per meeting. Now again, to earn that point, you have to be in the meeting for the full duration of the meeting. And if you're in one of the hybrid online sections, you have to have your camera on for the full duration of the meeting to get your point for that meeting. And furthermore, if it happens to be a meeting day where there's a quiz or an exam, if you don't have your camera on during a quiz or exam, you won't get the points for that quiz or exam. So generally, attendance is kind of low stakes. You attend a meeting, you get a point. But if you don't have your webcam on, you don't get your point. And if you don't have your webcam on during a quiz or an exam, you won't get the points for that quiz or exam. So that's an absolute policy. Now, here we are talking about how the course works. We're down to the schedule now. Let's go look at the course schedule. The schedule is posted for the entire semester, all 15 weeks of the semester. And then also the final exam week is shown as well. Now let's look at a typical week. A typical week of the semester shows which sections of the book are being covered. The schedule shows which homeworks are due during that week. Now you'll have to go to the Mylab system to see the due dates for these homeworks. The schedule shows links to the videos and links to the notes for those homeworks that have videos. The schedule shows the meeting topics for each meeting. So for instance, Wednesday, August 25th, the instructor will talk about course organization, and we'll talk a little bit about math. That's Wednesday, August 25th. Friday, August 27th is a meeting day where there will be some discussion and a quiz. Now here's the way that the topics will be presented on the course schedule for the class meetings. There's descriptions of what the instructor will talk about, and then there are descriptions of student presentations that are going to be done during that meeting. So for instance, on Friday, August 27th, student number 1 will do their first presentation during the class. Now, here's the presentation. Here's the assignment. It's the stuff that's highlighted. Now, as I said, these presentation assignments will always be posted on the course webpage in this schedule at least a week before the presentation is to be done in class. And in fact, the first 3 weeks of the semester have been posted. All the student presentations for the first 3 weeks are posted. Now, not only is the assignment posted, but also some hints for how to learn the skills that you need to do the presentation. This student number 1, presentation number 1, there are instructions for how to study. Go do homework number 2 and watch the video for homework number 2 and read the notes for homework number 2's video. You can see there's a online file that's the written, handwritten and printed notes that were produced in the making of the video for homework 2. And in fact, the instructions are even more specific. They say which pages of those notes to study. So these student presentations are in general basic examples, and they always have some instructions about what to do to prepare for this presentation. Now, what about this student number 1, student number 2 business? Who are these students? Well, let's go back up and look in the schedule. On Wednesday, August 25th, one of the things that the instructor will do on Wednesday, August 25th, or maybe in an email message to you directly, is to assign student numbers. there are 18 students in each section of Math 1350. And so each of those 18 students will get assigned a number. Student number 1, student number 2, and so forth. You students will be assigned a student number that will be yours for the entire semester. So you'll be able to come to this course web page and you'll be able to look at upcoming weeks and see what's going on in the various class meetings. So for instance, Friday, September 3rd, in that class meeting, you can see that student number 10 is presenting. Student number 11 is presenting. Student number 12 is presenting, and student number 13 is presenting. So that's how the schedule works. Another thing that's shown in the schedule is quizzes or exams. You can see that during the first week of the semester, on Friday, August 27th, there'll be a quiz during the last part of that class meeting. I've mentioned before, students in the hybrid in-person sections will take your quizzes on paper in the classroom during your meeting. Students in the hybrid online sections, you'll take your quizzes in the Mylab system, but during your meeting, during your online meeting in Microsoft Teams, you'll need to remain in the meeting with your webcam on while you take your quiz. So that's the course schedule. Now I want to talk about the required computer tools. I've already mentioned Blackboard. The starting point for this video was we went to the Blackboard page for the course. Blackboard is what's called a learning management system, LMS, that's used at Ohio University. Access to Blackboard is free, but you need to make sure that you know how to get there and how to log in. When you get to Blackboard, you'll log in using your Ohio University login credentials. There's a link on this web page to Blackboard where you can log in. Now I'm already logged in, so I didn't have to log in now. Another tool that I've mentioned in this video is the Mylab math system. It was developed by Pearson, the publisher of our textbook, and it's the system that you'll use for doing your homework, and for the online sections, you'll do quizzes and exams in Mylab as well. Now, accessing Mylab is a little bit harder than accessing Blackboard. Now, there are some instructions on this web page for accessing Mylab. If you click on this link, it pulls up a new web page. It shows, first of all, some details about what kind of computer capabilities you'll need to have. And then it'll give you instructions for configuring your account. And then finally, for actually getting into Mylab. Now, a key thing about accessing Mylab is this idea that you get to Mylab by first going to Blackboard, and from Blackboard you go to what's called the Digital Course Materials link, and from there you'll go to what's called the Vital Source Dashboard link, and then finally from there you'll go to Mylab. So to reiterate, you always go through Blackboard to get to Mylab. Well, let's look at how that process plays out. Let's go to Blackboard. Here I am at the Blackboard page for one of the sections of the course in student preview mode. So this should be how it looks as a student would see it. If we click on this link, Digital Course Materials, it pops up a frame that says Vital Source Course Dashboard. Now it does for me. For the students, if you go to Blackboard before the semester begins, I'm not sure if you'll see this link. But certainly starting on the first day of the semester, you should see this link. That is on Monday, August 23rd. And if you click on that link, again, maybe not in advance of the semester, but certainly beginning on the first day of the semester, you'll see this page giving you some various ways of getting into the Mylab system. Now, when you launch courseware, now in your instructions for accessing Mylab Math, it explains how you'll need to set up a Pearson account. So after your Pearson account is set up, when you come to Mylab, it will look something like this, and you get into the Mylab system and you'll see something like this, a list of upcoming assignments. Here's a bunch of homework assignments. If you're in one of the online sections of Math 1350, you'll also see quizzes and exams on this list. Now, if you come to one of these homework assignments, so for instance, homework number 2, you can see that there's a video for homework number 2, there are notes from the video for homework 2, and there's a bunch of questions for homework number 2. Now these questions are not links. I can't click on them. The reason is before I answer these questions, I'm supposed to watch these videos. So if I click on this link to watch the video for homework 2, it'll pop up another window. You can't see it, but another window popped up. Actually, maybe you can see it. That's the YouTube video for homework 2. That's me in the video. And then you need to click on these notes to see the PDF file that's the notes for homework 2. Now, once you've done those two things, watched the video, read those notes, then you can see that you can do the questions on this homework. Now, let's go back to the list of homework assignments. You can see that each of these homework assignments has a due date. A bunch of them are due. 3 of them are due on Wednesday, August 25th. That's the Wednesday of the first week of class. 3 of them are due on Thursday, August 26th. That's Thursday of the first week of class. A few of them are due on Friday. On Wednesday, August 27th. So the homework assignments start right away. So you're going to want to get Mylab configured right away on the first day of class and get started doing your homework for the semester. Let's go back and look at the schedule. Go back and look at the main course webpage. So we've discussed the computer tools, the Blackboard, the Mylab math system. There's another computer tool that is very useful. It's actually essential for some of you, Microsoft Teams. It's an online collaboration tool that can be used for chats, for calls, and for meetings. If you're in one of the online sections of the course, the hybrid online sections of the course, you'll have to have Microsoft Teams installed in order to take part in the Wednesday, Friday class meetings. So if you're in one of the hybrid online sections, sections 130 through 134, you'll need to get Microsoft Teams configured right away, the very first day of the semester, in order to be ready for your Wednesday class meeting. Here's a link on this webpage of required computer tools, a link to information about getting Microsoft Teams configured. Now, even if you're not in one of those hybrid online sections, Microsoft Teams is still a useful tool to have. For instance, if you want some one-on-one help from your instructor, Microsoft Teams is a great way to have a one-on-one video chat where you can talk to your instructor, show them work. They can show you work by writing things down. So Teams is a great tool. Whether or not you're in one of the online sections, I would recommend getting Teams installed right away. Also on this list of computer tools is a description of Cam Scanner. I won't discuss that in this video. I'll let you explore that. All right, so we've discussed how the course works. The course format, the grading, the schedule, and the required computer tools. Now, I want to sort of wrap this up and remind you of your immediate tasks. The very first day of the semester, Monday, August 23rd, you should go to the Blackboard page for the course and you should follow the instructions to get Mylab configured. Now, I should also add to these instructions, if you're in one of the online sections of the course, you should also get the Microsoft Teams installed. But get Mylab configured, and your first homework assignment will be due Wednesday, August 25th. So in other words, right away, get started working on your homework. To succeed on these assignments, you'll need to watch the accompanying videos and learn the content that way. And furthermore, if you're in one of the hybrid online sections, you'll need to have access to that system, that Mylab system, in order to take Quiz 1 on the very first Friday of the semester. So right away, your immediate task is to get Mylab configured. And I should have also mentioned, if you're in one of the online sections, get Microsoft Teams configured right away. Now, in general, what's your routine going to be? Well, your routine should be this. You should organize your work for the course by keeping an eye on 2 schedules. One schedule is the list of assignments with due dates in the Mylab math system. So let's go look at that again. Here's in the Mylab system, you can see here's this list of assignments with due dates. So one of your chores in your regular routine is to keep an eye on that list of assignments. Another schedule that you need to keep an eye on is the course schedule for this course on the course webpage. I showed you this before. Each week of the semester, there's a list of meeting topics for the various meetings that week, the Wednesday, Friday meetings. And in those lists of topics is a list of who's presenting that day in that meeting and what their presentation assignment is. So you'll need to keep an eye on that schedule, the main schedule on the webpage, to know what presentations you need to be preparing for. So the instructor won't be reminding you of upcoming homework and quizzes. You'll have to watch the Mylab system for the upcoming homeworks. And if you're in one of the online sections, you watch the Mylab system for the dates of the upcoming quizzes. But also the main course schedule will show upcoming quizzes and also will show the schedule of upcoming class presentations. And again, the instructor won't be reminding you of your upcoming class presentations. Now remember that the mathematical skills that you need for the homework assignments and the class presentations, the two things that are mentioned in this study routine, those mathematical skills are taught in the instructional videos that accompany the homework assignments. Now there's some more stuff on this webpage, details about the textbook, details about how the access to the Mylab system is paid for, lists of the homework assignments, various things. I'll let you explore that stuff. I think that's enough for this video. So that's the web page for the course and the Blackboard page for the course, describing the course organization and the work, the homework, the quizzes, the exams, the presentations. There's a lot of work for this course. I think you'll find that it's productive work, though, and the last 3 semesters that we've been using this format for the course, it's been very successful. Grades have been good. Students have related that, yes, they've worked hard, but they have learned a lot. And the class presentations, I think, are maybe the most intimidating thing early on, and maybe the large number of homework assignments. But you'll see that the homework assignments are kind of bite-sized. They're not long, and the presentations are not killer either. I mean, you could sort of describe the homework list as killer. We have 90 homework assignments. There's not much I can do to make that sound not intimidating. But the quizzes and exams are not killer. They're doable, and the success rate has been very very high in this course. So I hope, as I said, I hope it's productive for you. I hope it's enjoyable, and I hope you have a successful semester. Good luck.